sitting in on quarterback meetings trying to learn more about how they think so they can be in the right position to be in the right spot, as he was there to pick that one off and take it all the way back for a touchdown.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that makes the score 14-7. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And from the end zone, Deontay Hardy will bring it out. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick six, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner,
they're trying for Rager, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Rock Ya-Sin. And the Raiders are going to take possession of the football.
Partner, I think this is where long-term starters in the NFL separate themselves from the rest of the pack, because there's still 3 full quarters left in this one. More than enough time to move past a pair of early mistakes and find a way to lead your team to a win. Mental resiliency, a characteristic every NFL team's looking for in their quarterback.
Making the stop there, Danielle Hunter.
And this is why aggressive defense coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
On 2nd and 9, Carr is swing that out wide to Jacobs. And out of bounds all the way down at the 3. That gain of 15 gets him on the doorstep, 1st and goal.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover, and they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
They're able to get a couple here, but won't get across the plane as they stop him right around the 1.
Good work there, holding them out on 1st down, and this is going to be a battle down here on the goal line. Can they hold their ground for 2, maybe even 3 more plays?
Jacobs again, but he will lose yardage here. Back to the 4-yard line. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down. Defensively, I think they can smell a stop ball right around the 5 here, brings up 3rd.
And I think what they've done is they put doubt in the minds of the offensive guys. What do we do? Because now you don't have a go-to play. Either side they pick, throwing it, running it.
And that's going to be caught for a Raider touchdown. Russell Gage, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Raiders have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And it's now 21-7.
Raiders 21, Vikings 7.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 15-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
Cousins' throw pulled in by Jefferson. And he is going to lose yardage here. Now whistles, and the Raiders are going to signal for a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Throwing again on 2nd down. Cousins Throw left side, taken in by Jefferson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
At the 43-yard line.
And they'll send the slot in motion left. Now the Raiders are going to use another timeout here. And that's their second charge timeout here in this first quarter. They're down to 1 remaining. They'll send a receiver in motion to the left. Cousins on first down. That pass complete to Deontay Hardy. And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line. To the air again, it's Cousins. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
Have to give some credit to the defender on that when he read all of his keys perfectly and got a great break on the ball and able to force that incompletion.
To throw on 2nd and 10, Cousins. And he comes back with one complete. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
A pretty wild first quarter. 21-7, our score. They'll bring a receiver in motion left. They'll throw again. Cousins. This one brought in by Jefferson. And he's going to get this down near the 25. The Vikings at 500, 7-7 on the year. Well, they were winners their last time out, so they'll be looking to make it 2 in a row.
And so much about football, partner, comes down to mindset. Being in the right frame of mind, and the best way to get in that good frame of mind, winning. So they come in feeling good. They've got the home crowd behind them. I think they're going to be tough to beat in this one. Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half, but I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
From the red zone now, Cousins. And it's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A 15-yard touchdown grab. And the Vikings have cut it back within a score. And Johnson's extra point up and good. And they're back within a touchdown at 21-14. Here's Johnson set and ready to kick this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Raiders take over first down 10 at their own 21-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. A lot of time for this unit to game plan on the sideline after that drive that they watched the other side just score. But remember, last time they were out, they scored as well. We'll see if they can seize that momentum right back.
And they haven't had a lot of time to cool off from reaching the end zone the last time. So have they been able to keep themselves mentally sharp and into this game, even though they haven't been on the field? And you and I both know, one big play, though, gets them right back up to that level.
To throw again on second down. Carr. And that's complete to Adams. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. A card finding his former college teammate Adams there for the Raider first.
So many times in my career, I heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. As long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for second down.
Defensively, he has been a presence in their backfield in the first half. Had a sack earlier, and now he comes up with a big tackle for a loss.
The Carr's throw taken in by Adams. He's got this to the 30 before being taken down. It's a gain of 34.
Already over 1,000 yards receiving this season. That catch is just going to add to his total. Certainly not resting on his laurels. He's trying to continue to gain as many yards as possible and continue this big season.
Carr now on first down. He goes right back to Adams. That's complete. And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here.
That's the third time on this drive that these two have connected with each other. They've got a real rapport going. And right now, it's paying off with big chunks of yardage, as shown by that last play.
Into the red zone, it's Carr. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Jacobs. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. 12 more yards there and another first down.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they can be set up with a first and goal.
And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up second and goal.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
And he finds Waller in the end zone for a Raider touchdown. 4 yards on the touchdown grab, as his guys are able to extend their lead. Well, that's just how they drew it up, CD. His first read was there, got it to him quickly, and into the end zone.
Absolutely excellent execution by all involved. And the coordinator, got to give him credit, found the perfect play call. Quarterback let it fly as soon as the target came free, and his guy made a nice catch. Just how you draw it up in practice and then execute it in the game.
On is the Raider kickoff unit now, as they will send this one away. He will return this from deep in the end zone. And able to break this out all the way to the 38-yard line. Great return.
The Vikings take over first down 10 at their own 38-yard line.
Vikings now to start their next drive. The last time out, they had to march almost the full length of the field for their touchdown. So here, much easier, Charles, with this better starting field position.
I love your sarcasm, but I love even more your observation, because look, what they did last time out, now with a shorter field, they should have a lot of confidence that they're going to put more points up on the board.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play, but sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one, weren't able to do so.
They'll bring a receiver in motion left.
Hey, we're good.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
That could be the stop this defense needed to get them back on track. They've been pretty well dissected by the offense here in the first half. After that possession, now they know that they can compete with this offense.
So on 4th down, on is the punter, Ryan Wright. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. On the return, Harris. And when it's said and done, it's a 58-yard punt. And the Raiders will take over now, 1st and 10. The Raider offense set to get this drive started.
Well, the football changing hands here as this offense takes the field. Charles, they'd be fine with more of the same on this upcoming drive. Last time out, they found the end zone for 6.
And they're certainly hoping for more of the same, but the game plan, I doubt it'll just be a carbon copy of the last drive, because I think this offense is ready to break out some new wrinkles and try some new things that might be hidden in their playbook. They want to use that confidence to its advantage while also keeping the defense from anticipating what's up next.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Carr, the open man here, Renfro. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. A 14-yard gain there as they look to improve this 14-point lead.
Didn't they tell us in our meetings that they needed to account for him on each and every play?
You think? A guy of his caliber? So how does a guy like him get that wide open?
That usually means there's a tire breakdown on what the coverage was. That everyone thought they were doing something, and they were supposed to be doing something else. The bottom line is, no matter what, you have to know where he is and cover him on every play.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10.
93. Hey, 734.
They're going to look to throw. Forced out, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
Loss of 10 as multiple defenders get to him.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
Carr and the Raiders following the sack, looking up at a 3rd and long. From the gun, it's Carr. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
That might be the 3rd down stop that they needed, because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
On 4th down, A.J. Cole comes on to punt. Deontay Hardy back deep. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. This is taken at about the 14. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10.
At their own 30-yard line.
Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway.
And with him down 2 scores, you wonder if they might try and put something together, even if it's just to get into field goal range.
And he'll work this back to right around the line of scrimmage and surrender there. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
When you try to create space for your running back, the first thought is how physical is the offensive line. Sometimes it's just positioning. On that play, it didn't matter about positioning or being physical. The defensive front, they out-leveraged them and won the battle.
And he's got room. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10. Cousins. And he's got his big tight end here. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. On 1st and 10, Cousins. And he will find his man on the end route. Complete. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. And quite a bit of pizza in this box. It's a 53-yard attempt.
And Johnson's kick is good.
And that will do it for this first half. So we're at halftime here on Christmas Eve. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. The Vikings set to receive the second half kickoff, and they trail it here as we resume play. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the third quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus was in the passing game. And to their credit,
and the third interception thrown by Cousins. Picked off by Rock Ya-Sin. And the Raiders are going to take possession of the football.
And that one is going to sting. First play of the third quarter and a turnover.
And you have to know that at halftime, they spent a lot of time going through their checklist of what they wanted to accomplish to start this third quarter. Turning it over like this was not on that list.
Not at all. And you come out of the locker room trailing, so that first drive to establish momentum is very key.
Crucial.
Now after the INT, it's Carr.
Pass thrown to Adams. He's got it on the crossing route.
And they'll be stopped at the 28. On a play that started at the 14, they pick up 14.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them. And these guys have been taking advantage so far.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's a perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
On second down, Jacobs. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it was just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But looks like they're ready to go.
And the Vikings are going to beef up their secondary here. 6 DBs on third. In motion comes the tight end left. Snap comes at 1, and it's Carr. And that's knocked away and incomplete.
Sometimes the game is pretty simple. Put a few extra defensive backs on the field, give them nowhere to throw the football, force the incompletion, and get off the field on third down.
Daniel Carlson on for the field goal. A 48-yard attempt.
The kick by Carlson is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
Whatever was said in the locker room during the break must have worked. They forced the turnover. They didn't get the touchdown, Charles, but it does translate into 3 points to begin this second half.
Exactly as they discussed in the locker room at halftime. Get some points to get things kick-started. Now start your half off with some momentum. Gives you something to build on for your next possession.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway.
Now this offense trying to change the script here a little bit, CD. Trailing on the scoreboard in the last time out on the very first play of the drive.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Jonathan Abram picks it. And the Raiders are going to take possession of the football.
I guess we're at the point of the game where they do need to open up the playbook a little bit, start to take some chances down the field, but that one did not go as planned.
Yeah, these guys need something good to go their way, and they took an opportunity to take that shot there. But obviously that's not going to help. A tough play for them as they're trying to make their way back.
Now a play fake. Carr. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down.
That was nice work there defensively to force incompletion. Now, even though this drive started in plus territory, they're still not in field goal range yet. So they can work towards another couple of stops and not allowing that turnover to hurt.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. They'll bring the tight end in motion right here. Carr going to give it to Jacobs. They find some open field here. And he will score. Touchdown, Las Vegas.
I guess when you look back on it, it was just a matter of time until he popped a big one like that. And, you know, at halftime, you and I discussed it. They had done a nice job on him in the first half. But there were a couple of occasions where it felt like he might wiggle out of traffic and take it to the house. Finally here in the second half, that got done.
Carlson on for the PAT. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead.
Raiders 38, Vikings 17.
On as the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. Now problems right out of the gate. We're going to get a delay.
The offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted.
Now they need 15 yards on this series after the delay of game. 1st and 15. Play action now. Cousins.
And that one going to come up short. Low throw. Another throw there off the mark. And obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know. What do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question. And my suspicion is he's been coached really well to not show that he's having a problem. You know, they always tell you no matter what, you keep throwing the football with confidence. Well, we're not seeing a confident thrower right now. He's off balance, the passing game's off balance, and the defense is taking advantage. Partner, what we're seeing so far is the defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
Here we go.
3rd and long for Cousins. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
Now Cousins on 4th down. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. A surprising move to go for it. Predictably, at least somewhat predictably, it doesn't pay off. And now possession's going to go over with a football at the 20-yard line.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material.
Throwing now is Carr. Firing quickly here, and that's complete.
And they're going to be set up now with the ball at the 13-yard line.
Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Carr. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets him up now 1st and goal.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
Play action. Now it's Carr. Touchdown, Raiders. 3rd touchdown pass now for Derek Carr, as his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead. Carlson now to add the extra point. And that'll increase their lead to 28.
Next to score, Raiders 45, Vikings 17.
Out out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be returned from deep in the end zone. And not a great return here. He'll make it back only to the 10-yard line.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one...
And now here is another interception.
Picked up by Divine Diablo, and the Raiders are going to take possession of the football. Well, there's two sides to this coin. I mean, on one side, 5 interceptions now thrown for him. That's tough, but, man, this defense, they have been ball-hawking and impressive. But, Charles, let's flip it back over. If you're coaching a quarterback that's struggling this much at this stage of the game, do you maybe try to get him out?
I would think about it, and I think about it awfully hard, but also you might want to look into his eyes, see what he has. He might be one of those players that you don't want to affect his confidence by actually pulling him out of the game. So you have to know your player. You have to know the situation.
Carr now on first down.
And, oh, that nearly their first pick of the game, but it falls down to the ground incomplete.
And to put it mildly, this is a tough spot defensively. They have to come right back out and defend their red zone. But how about that good first step towards forcing them to settle for at least 3 points? I think they're also thinking bigger right now. Imagine being able to stop them totally and change the momentum.
And a pickup of about 4 down inside the 10 to the 8-yard line.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains.
Carr with a play fake to Jacobs. And this is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. Making 4 touchdown passes now for Derek Carr.
And the Raiders get another third-quarter touchdown to add on to that lead.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter.
Vikings 17.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line. So bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision. Loses him about 4 yards.
At their own 21-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway.
Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles. But I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
On 2nd and 12, Cousins. And he's got his big tight end over the middle, complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Cousins gives way to Cook. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
This defense just continues to bottle up that ground game. And look, I mean, the deficit right now for this offense is so big that it might not matter. But you're still in the third quarter. They're probably going to have to try things through the air, Charles.
I agree.
And my goodness, another interception.
And the Raiders are going to take possession of the football.
Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
Now Carr on the bootleg. Out to his left. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
Danielle Hunter in there for the sack, and he's closing in on the all-time record. That's number 19 on the year.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. Now Carr. He hits Adams complete. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. 27 yards there, a first down.
Well, up big, with still not hesitating to take some shots downfield, CD. I guess they really want to hammer home their dominance in this one.
Yeah, that much is apparent, partner. If they keep completing throws like that, they'll keep that gap awfully wide as they've established already.
Throwing on first down is Carr. And that's going to be caught for a Raider touchdown. Devontae Adams, his 2nd touchdown of the game, giving him 12 on the season.
And the Raiders will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the 3rd. Well, familiar refrain, a turnover leads to a touchdown, and that lead grows even wider now here in this 3rd quarter.
Yeah, partner, I'd say there are a lot of grins breaking out on that sideline because, let's face it, they came in thinking they were in for a real fight in this game, but this one's been about as one-sided as we've seen in a while. In addition, if you're a backup, time to start stretching and loosening up. You may get some playing time in this one.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter.
Vikings 17.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
This one fielded at the 5. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
It's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. A turnover on the last drive. They had the issue in the first half as well, and that's really, unfortunately for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't want to admit it to themselves, but we know that winning the game is pretty much out of the picture now. So their bottom line is, how do they play a clean game the rest of this one, right? Take care of the football, no more turnovers, and see how that works.
One quarter remains here in Week 16. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Again, it's Cook. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
There's no question that coming into this game, this defense is pretty vocal about his desire to take this running back out of his game. And all that pregame wolfing has turned into results.
Here's Cousins. And now here is another interception. And the Raiders are going to take possession of the football. Yet another mistake after the interception there. And gosh, you look up at the scoreboard, they just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys. But being down this big, you also take even more chances. And in this situation, that hasn't paid off for them at all.
On the other sideline, jubilation and laughter. Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And he's able to work his way down inside the red zone to the 19-yard line. 106 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here. And carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
On 1st and 10, here's Carr. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one, it was over a long time ago.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Carr. Touchdown! Darren Waller. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Raiders look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this 4th quarter. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead.
Vikings 17.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And he's going to be taken down inside the 10 at about the 8-yard line.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway.
Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation.
He's got him in, complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. Just like that, out of danger and up past the 40 now for 1st and 10. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete pass that we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200-yard game, and that was a big talk both in his town and amongst his team. How do we get the passing game going? So big credit to them holding them under 200 today.
Throwing again, Cousins on 2nd and 10. And my goodness, another interception.
And the Raiders are going to take possession of the football.
Well, partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's really gone wrong. I guess the catch-all is everything. Doesn't sound like real sharp analysis, but I don't have much else for you.
And the scoreboard just lopsided, and it's been ugly from the get-go.
Here's a handoff to Jacobs running left.
And he's going to take this one down to the 25.
113 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. They'll lose a yard on the play, so now they need 3 yards on third down.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
The Raiders on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. On play action. Now Carr. He's got a man open. It's Hunter Renfrow. And he is going to have the Raiders first down by about 3 yards or so as they wind up getting 7 there on 3rd and 4.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You just go ahead and play.
Carr going to get this to Jacobs. And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
2nd and 2. Now Carr. Being chased out left. And he'll just get rid of it. Well, they're up comfortably here, Charles, but that lead certainly not dissuading them from pressing the envelope late. I mean, if anything, with these passes, it's like they're getting more aggressive to try to drive the ball downfield. And that will certainly lend itself to some post-game questions for that coach, and maybe you and I should attend that press conference and see what he has to say, because someone's going to ask him why he continued to push it. My guess, he didn't like how some of the snaps were run earlier, and he wanted to use that as a chance to clean things up, but he certainly will have some explaining to do. They only got 2, but that was enough as they'll convert to make it 1st and goal. Brandon, this can be so demoralizing for a defense. They've had 2 opportunities to get off the field. They haven't gotten it done, so now your coordinator, he's going to call every blitz that he has, any type of exotic, something that they haven't seen before, and he's also telling the defensive lineman, don't worry about holding people up. Just get in gaps and try and make a big play. And not only not getting off the field on 2 opportunities, clock continuing to run. That gets him 3 yards closer here as it brings up 2nd and goal. That's good power football on 1st and goal. A lot of teams will throw from there, but that's a nice job to chew up a few more yards and get yourself closer to the goal line. The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. Carr going to throw. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And the Vikings force the turnover. They'll take over at the 10. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago. He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair.
Boy, and now they can't even get a play off.
Well, you got to think, Charles, that one's on the quarterback because everybody was up at the line of scrimmage. He just didn't call for the snap in time.
Yeah, I think he needs a little bit better awareness out there because you got to know when the clock's in single digits and either snap it or get a timeout called if you have one.
And he's going to go down in the end zone. Cousins taken down for the safety. Well, this defense has been smothering all game long. Why not give them 2 more points here in the closing minutes?
Well, they've certainly earned it. They've gotten the better of this offensive line for 4 quarters, and this sack here will just be a little icing on the cake.
And this returnable for Harris.
They'll start on the ground here on first down. And some room to maneuver. There he goes left side. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
He's been having a great game, and that one right there, his best run so far, and it ends with 6 points.
And not only that, in his mind, what is he thinking? Can I get to 200 yards as well? Because he knows he's closing in on it. He may not know the exact number, but the best runners have a feel of what the yardage is that they're compiling, and he knows that he's getting close to that 200-yard mark now.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. On is the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. And he is out of bounds here on the return.
At their own 25-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, that's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnel. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Eluding the pressure right. He's got a man, complete. And he'll have it past midfield, almost to the 40 before being taken down. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 27-yard line. A new set of downs after a strong pickup of 16 yards. And now we'll get a timeout here. They're able to stop it with 1 second to go in this game.
Field goal unit and Brian Johnson out there.
The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Now the Vikings will send out the special teams crew here for a field goal try. He hit his first one, this from 44 yards out now. And the kick here is good, so add 3 to the total. But they're still coming up well short, and that is how this one comes to an end.
And as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their heads held high. What a performance by the offense, too. I mean, really, Charles, just complete domination on both sides of the football here in this one.
Certainly was, and I think both sides compete against each other all the time. You go to each other in practice, obviously your training camps, your off-season. But on game day, you both want to show your best. And I think that's what we saw from both the offense and the defense, a complete team victory.
So for Las Vegas, it's a critical win for them as it gets them to 9-6 on the year. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Mile High to take on the Broncos. Meanwhile, for the Vikings,
they fall under 500 now as they drop to 7-8.
And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to KC to take on the Chiefs.
blood this time.